Howdy gardeners! Today I would like to show off another new nursery table. We created a smaller table in the shade to use for anthuriums, orchids, and other plants that prefer more subdued light conditions. I did the table a little different than the previous ones here in the nursery, so it's a little less expensive. I'm also utilizing a permaculture solution to shade because we put the table under our lime tree. Right over here you can see the table in its entirety. I'm using a fence panel. It's a welded hot dip galvanized thing. I've cut the panel in two. They come 16 foot long. This one's been cut down to an 8-foot table, so we have a 5-foot wide by 8-foot long table. I have not used the pipes on top of the blocks for support in this case, like I have over here on all my other tables. You can see over here that we've got pipes running underneath the fencing panels. These are chain link fence pipes. They're fairly expensive, and the only reason I use them is that sometimes the bulk of the material on these tables gets really heavy. Well, I didn't use them over here. You can see there's no pipes. Just put the tabletops directly on the blocks. This is mostly for orchids in lightweight mediums like pumice and coconut core and fir bark and such. And so they've got a lot of weight. Orchid plants don't get real big. And so I cheapened it up, and we utilized 9 standard concrete blocks. 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 in the middle, and 1, 2, 3 over on the other end. We laid the fence panel directly across the top of them, and then I just went ahead and put all the orchids up top. Got a little bit of bromeliads and the anthuriums. They're out there in the back. Some of them are actually off the table on top of a little plastic tub. I'm using plastic lugs for daffodil bulbs to hold up the dendrobiums, because we have a whole bunch of beat up dendrobium here, long and tall. Came from one of the orchid club members who had passed away. Family no longer wanted the orchids. They were in pretty bad shape. So Ellen's nursing them, and I've stood them up in those tubs to help keep them supported. Support is the issue when it comes to rooting a plant. If it wiggles in the pot, it's not going to root very well. You'll see the classic tennis balls at the corners, which have been slit. Right here is my lime, and lime used to extend almost all the way to ground level. You can see now I have cut lime into the form I usually don't do with citrus. I have cut it to a backyard shade tree shape, so we're capable of walking around the back side of the table and getting under here. But I left enough foliage overhead so that the table is sheltered by the lime. See the table here and the lime canopy right there. My shed is to the west over there, and my house is over here to the south. And so there's only one corner of the table over there that gets any direct sunlight. The rest of it's pretty well filtered and subdued, and works great for growing orchids on. We'll also get a crop of limes out of the tree above. I just sold a dozen of them this morning. Right here will be a future project, and we're going to start doing a video on this stuff too. I have 2 300-gallon Rubbermaid stock tanks over here that are going to become a small backyard fish farm. Right over here I plumbed the downspouts of my house in order to receive the water. We have plumbing over on the shed back there too. Those pipes will come over here, be run into these tanks, and then the effluent from the fish will be used to fertilize the plants. Pretty cool, huh? Can't wait. That's coming up. We'll have it. So there it is. A shade nursery table. A little bit cheaper than the usual because of the lack of the pipes. Didn't need the support. It's a great way to grow stuff. Happy gardening. Hang loose. See you next time.